and take a look at those game faces over here on the grid. Getting ready for partner forward, that first race, Tampa Bay Brigade versus the New York Wolves. And they are off. Dalton Herrero for the Brigade, and we are looking at Steven Chepka for the Wolves.
Yeah, so you're going to see the athletes perform devil's presses, where it's a burpee into an overhead dumbbell press here. This race format is so brutal because it's horizontal pressing paired up with the horizontal pressing. So their chest alone with all this volume is going to cause for the reps to get a lot slower as they work through the grid.
That's right, and the Wolves looking like a veteran team over here with that switch that they had to do. QPEC taking a step back to tag in Daniel over here for the Wolves, and they actually did the same exact thing on the Brigade team. But look at the speed of Chris Chaffee, and he's able to go so fast, and Daniel actually able to pick up speed a little bit too once he realized that he was, safe in doing what he was doing. Jess Kraisman, of course, one of the fastest in the lead. Slight lead ahead of here. Tampa Bay Brigade going into that second quadrant, keeping Chris Chaffee and, of course, team owner, leader, coach, and player, Jess Kraisman. Daniel's going to be moving on to the second quadrant. They're bringing in Selena Swanger. What a name.
I love that. And the swag they are bringing. So it's going to be very tough when you have Chris Coffey and Jess Kraisman on the other side. They are arguably two of the fastest burpeers, if that's a word, in the league. So them starting off the Brigade in this is going to be tough right there. But the Wolves, they're actually looking pretty clean and strong here. So it'll be interesting to see how they look on the second half.
Oh, 100%. And I can't wait to get to meet these teams a little bit more intimately as we go through this match and see what the Wolves are made of here. Looks like the Brigade are ahead, and they are going to be switching out. Slight mishap here and a fault for the Wolves. But as the veterans leave, they're bringing in newer blood, Seth Prohaska, who took last season off to have a baby. And he is with Isabella Carvalho, who used to play kids grid, but has been playing on the grid now for a few years. You used to coach her as well, Taylor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah. So Bella was one of my former athletes. She is such a strong and talented athlete, and she is such a competitor. She loves the grid. She can move weight, but she can also do some of the gymnastics as well too. But she has grown from kids grid to being a vital, important athlete on this Brigade team.
We love that. Brandon Ferraro is getting ready to take over here for the New York Wolves, but it looks like the Brigade are already into that next quadrant. Brandon Ferraro over here with a new face for the Wolves, and they are going pretty fast, I might say, for rookies, but against a Brigade team who their team is known for burpees. It's pretty impressive here so far, and that is a race win for the Tampa Bay Brigade, taking the first one, that partner forward.
That was a great win, a statement win for the Brigade. So this is one race down, and even though that they won, the Wolves will go ahead and finish out their first match with at least 1 point.
Absolutely, for finishing within the time cap. 50 seconds left on that time cap, by the way. And of course, times matter. So they were able to get through that pretty well without too many miscommunications. So they're really good at listening, and that's what I see so far. That's all we can base it off of, is this first race that we saw them as we get to know them through the match.
Exactly, and it's going to be a little bit of butterflies and jitters, actually a lot of bit of that. So I think that after a couple of races, they're going to find their footing in there. This is just shaking it off. But then once they realize that they belong in here, you're going to start seeing things start to clear up a lot more.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and learn a little bit about these teams.
All right, so we are looking right here. So I'm going to always, right now have my eyes on, of course, my Rosa. We just finished talking about him. You see him already with that Brigade jersey on there. So seeing how he fares out with his former team there. He was an important part of the Brigade last year, but just seeing how he messed up with the New York now, since it's more a hometown.
Absolutely.
And then I'm also going to be looking at Sydney Pollock. I'm trying to find her. Thank you so much for the help right here. She is Pollock. Thank you. We're going to get your names right. Please excuse me, New York, but we're going to get it right. But she was on American Ninja Warrior, and so she's also going to be competing in ringer point today. So that's going to be fun seeing her out there with the burpee to rings. And then I'm also going to have my eyes own Raymond Flesher. So he is so incredibly strong, and also he can do a lot of the gymnastics. Once I saw that the New York signed him as one of their first signings, I knew that he was going to be a force. I've been following him for a minute, so excited to see what he does this year.
Definitely excited to see the Wolves and see what they're made of. Let's go ahead and go over to the Tampa Bay Brigade. Taylor, what you got here?
I am going to be looking at, there we go, Ariana Durham. So she is a staple on this team. Each year she's gotten better and better. Such a strong athlete. So I'm looking for her to be slinging the bar around, but also very versatile. She's also going to be going up against Sydney in the burpee to ring. So excited to see the two ladies test their legs on that jump. I'm also going to be looking at Brittany Latham, another one of my strong girls. You know, I got to shout out my strong ladies out here. Her, too, is going to be doing the clusters, one of my favorite ringers. She is going to be going up against Sibber guys, so you'll see the guys versus the girls there, and I'm looking forward to see what she does there. Then I'm going to also be looking at my old ace athlete, Angel Serrano. Even though he is a wild card, I'm very curious to see where they use him, because he is an extremely strong athlete, but he can also do a lot of the gymnastics work here, and it could be a thing where his racing contributions could help out the Brigade very drastically.
Definitely. A lot of good picks here, Taylor. And we're getting ready for this next race. It's going to be the Mirror. Don't go anywhere as you learn more about it.
Mirror, the second race of every match, always features a barbell element. A male and a female barbell are placed in the first quadrant. Upon the start of the race, both are picked up by the team in any fashion by the 3 men and 3 women allowed in the race at any given time. Once the barbell leaves the ground, it may not touch the ground again until all reps are complete. If it does, the entire team must return to the start line before continuing. A set number of reps must be completed by both genders in each quadrant before the team can move on. Non-lifting players will act as the human rack to support the barbells as the team moves from quadrant to quadrant and switches performing players in the process as needed. Substitutions may happen at any time. Time stops when all reps are complete and the last player crosses the finish line. This strength-focused race has the most players on the grid at the same time and requires effective planning and practice to be executed well through coordination amongst players. Remember, don't drop the barbell in the mirror race.
All right, so for the mirror, we have hang squat cleans. The men's weight is going to be 205 pounds. The women's weight is going to be 140 pounds. How this works is the team will accumulate 8 reps per quadrant. And once you pick up the bar off the ground, it cannot touch the ground until you make it through all 8 reps in the 4th quadrant.
Thank you for that, Taylor, especially because we saw the new team earlier actually drop the barbell, so important to note that, and hopefully the same thing doesn't fall upon the Wolves here. Getting ready to see their debut. Race. And they're off. Mirror, this is Brandon over here for the Wolves, and for the Brigade, we are looking at Kyle Massey. Sorry, Jocelyn Williams over there for the Brigade, and
Kyle Massey.
I'm thinking Ashley Morris over here for the Wolves. A little bit behind, but it looks like the Brigade are able to make it to the 2nd quadrant first. Looking good so far, no bar drops and good transitions. They just have to keep it going. This is Sig, and actually this is Morris over here for the Wolves now. And on the other side, we're looking at Brittany Latham and Alex Hollings, some of the fastest in the league as far as cycling barbells at heavyweights.
Yeah, you see Alex Hollings, they may, and Brittany Latham, you're going to be seeing those guys in the later races, but they are so incredibly strong there. So that was a good, strong quadrant for the Brigade to put them ahead.
Oh, Petruzzelli struggling a little bit to get her grip on the bar, but luckily no drop. Steven Kupek is over here for the Wolves, and they had just finished up with Seth Prohaska. Kyle Massey going to be taking the bar. Rebecca Rouse taking the bar for the Tampa Bay Brigade. They are an entire quadrant ahead at this point, doing great and keeping that lead, but the Wolves making really great of the transitions on the way over there. Few reps remaining for the Brigade.
Oh, no.
Oh, a little bit of a mess up from Kyle Massey. Alex Holling's going to take over to finish the last 2 reps. Hands are in the air for both teams. Can the Wolves take it from behind? That is a race win for the New York Wolves in their very first. Let me get a burr, 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 burr.
So that's very unfortunate over there on the Brigade. So Cal Massey, he did the first quadrant, and then he was came back and he was supposed to do the second quadrant, but he had a little bit of struggle at the end and unfortunately couldn't finish it. So Alex Hollings had to come in and relieve him, but that just allowed enough time for the Wolves to come in and sneak one. Yeah, we said all they needed was one.
Yep.
They needed to just get one, and then from there now they got one underneath their belt. Now all they have to do is just start chipping away.
There we go, and you never know, it could be a little bit of a give or take here. Kyle Massey did a lot of work in that partner forward as well, so him being a little tired. Oh, we hear some Wolves howling out here on the grid. Fun to watch.
Booing? They don't boo in grid.
No, we have a new mascot now today. It looks like we are about even, but there is a challenge on the grid that we're going to find out about in just a second. Daniel's getting us all the information that we need here. Go ahead and comment down in the chat what you think it is, but I don't want you to go anywhere. We'll be right back while Daniel figures that out for us.
Looks like Tampa Bay Brigade coach Tomas Pacenda has thrown his challenge flag. In quadrant 4, he's saying that his athlete completed the desired number of reps, even though the referee did throw a fault in there. So they're going to review the footage, they're going to count the reps, and we'll get back to you with the ruling. Cassie?
Thanks for that, Daniel. What do you think it was, Taylor? I didn't necessarily see the last, or count them at least.
Coach Tomas, he is also an old a head judge himself, too.
Right.
So he knows the rules. He has a great eye. So he is challenging that his athlete performed more reps than what he needed to, even though he was faulted. So if that was the case, so if they faulted him and he finished that rep and they still told him he had to do another rep, and it shows that he did more than what he needed to, then this could definitely cause for a rerun because it would have significantly affected the race and they would have been finished.
Absolutely, especially since it was so close. This is really important, and they possibly could take away, the first win of the Wolves. That would be unfortunate, but we're about to see what is going to happen. The Wolves and the Brigade are both going to the back to have a little powwow while they review the footage, but don't go anywhere. Comment down below where you're from and what you think is happening, and we'll be right back.
It looks like the Brigade are going to win their challenge. They did do all the reps completed. They had a fault, but they had done an additional rep, which means they did the amount of reps completed. So they're going to win their challenge, but they're going to rerun quadrants 3 and 4 of this mirror race. So the determination and the winner is to be found out here shortly. Cassie, back to you.
Thanks for that, Daniel. It looks like the Wolves got their first win taken away, which is unfortunate, but it's still anybody's. It's only the last 2 quadrants that they have to rerun here.
Yeah, and this is a horrible mirror to rerun.
Yeah, it sure
Those
is.
hang squat cleans does something out of you.
Yeah.
And more than likely, the guy who closed it, and if they have Brittany on the other side close it as well, too, they both are also doing the clusters as well.
Oh, yes.
So, and Sigbert, he was by far their fastest. So he looked very strong, and he made that look like a PVC. So this is going to be a fast and very strong last quadrant.
That's right. They are getting ready to rerun this. If we could take it to the full grid view so I could show you just one thing really quickly. They are going to be running all the way down this time, and they are going to be starting from that 3rd quadrant. They're going to pick it up here, and they can't put it down until they both finish in these spots. All right, so just so you know what's happening, it's half the race, but it's still going to hurt. So let's go ahead and take a look at those game faces as we prepare. Crowd is going absolutely wild for these teams. A lot of excitement here. They're pumping up. I like the energy that like a Northeast team brings, Taylor, I have to say.
I don't know if we're in New York or if we're in Lakeland. Because New York, they got a lot of fans down here. They are rolling deep.
That's something that I've always been jealous of growing up in Miami is that sports fans in the Northeast are the best. They're so diehard. In Miami, if you're losing, we leave the game early. I don't like that culture so much.
Look, I've been up there when the Knicks won, so so it's been crazy all around. It's been big sports.
Absolutely. A lot of fun here. Sig is going to be coming out first. He requested that he's called Sig. That's his nickname, by the way, Sigbert.
Sig. Okay,
all right.
okay.
He does prefer Sig. I asked him. Fun stuff. And it looks like they're getting ready to come out with Petruzzelli, Kara. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Sig is looking sick. That dude is jacked.
Stand by.
And they're off in the third quadrant. This is where they're starting, and they're bringing it into the fourth quadrant to do those last few reps. Alex Hollings, Isabella Carvalho, Steve Kupek, and Petruzzelli coming out for the Wolves. This is anybody's. Few reps remaining for both of these teams, and they're going to have to hurry it up. Can the Wolves hold on to their win? And that is, whoa, whoa. That's going to have to come to instant replay, but it looks like the Wolves won that, Taylor.
They did. They did. Oh, my gosh. I'm up here holding my breath. Oh, my goodness. They look so strong over there. It was Steven Kupek and, was that Swanger or was that Pollock? I couldn't see.
I believe that was McCall.
McCall? Well,
what an absolute powerhouse of a team, and they came and they made their statement, Taylor.
They're like, we won it the first time, we won it again. We're gonna make it clear right here. That was so great because the Brigade, they look strong on their side. I was like, this could go either way. I saw the fingers up, and then they just looked like a very strong and vet team.
Absolutely.
The Wolves did. The way that they waited for each other at the top, and they knew how to just push and had everybody at the finish line just so they can easily cross that line. That was a vet move. Great job, Wolves.
Oh, my goodness. And they only have one veteran on that team, by the way. Nobody else has played grid before.
No.
So fun to watch. I have goosebumps. This is the match that you're going to watch, friends, and this is why you have to stick around until the very end. And guess what? You have a chance to be a part of the action. If you go to unitedgridleague.com/vote, this is the last time that you can vote today for a ringer point. And you could choose which one you want to see later. But let's talk about the one that we are about to see ourselves. It looks like we are doing the clusters. The men are going to be doing 205. The women are going to be doing 135. For the males, it's going to be Sig from the Wolves. And for the women on the Brigade, it's going to be Brittany Latham. Now, 135 for Brittany Latham. That's... she flosses her traps with those. So this is going to be real easy for her. Sig, we just saw him get a little bit fatigued, maybe, possibly, on that mirror to make it up for his team. Oh, actually, he didn't even end up doing it. He's a little bit fresher.
No.
My bad. Both of these people are, we haven't seen Sig a lot, but we're going to see what he's made of right now.
That was a smart move by Coach Lexi, making sure that she gave him a break and didn't have him finish out that last bar because knowing that he had this right next to him. So I think this is also going to come down to a sprint as well, too, because both of them are so incredibly strong. So who can pull that bar off the floor is first is going to have a big advantage. So Brittany is going to definitely have to sprint out there because Sig looked like he's ready to eat that barbell right now.
Definitely. What a way to take it away, Wolves. And let's see if they can do it again. Ringer point is player versus player. They can choose any player, but they can only use one person per season per ringer point, unless it's a fan-voted ringer point. Last chance to vote. Don't forget to do that. Sigbert Guy, Brittany Latham, and they're all New York Wolves versus Tampa Bay Brigade, and it looks like Sig is getting to the bar first. 4 reps for these athletes. Sig is going extremely fast here. This is anybody's, though. Who can make it first to the finish line? Oh!
Oh, my gosh.
Whoa! Guys, I think you might be watching the best match of the day so far if you're tuning in here. Wow.
Yo, let's go. Come on, Brittany. Come on, Brittany, because Sig was the first one to the bar. He looked strong. It looked like a PVC, but Brittany stayed calm, and she's a little bit shorter than Sig. Sig has long arms, so she was able to really put herself under and use her size and strength to her advantage. That was beautiful.
It was amazing. Great shout out to Brittany. She's actually competing in nationals next week if you want to send her some luck messages. But Sig came out there hot, and he did really well, not to take that away from him. But it looks like it's being a little bit of a give and take match. You're watching a very competitive match, and I think we need to hire some more finish line people after this one because the Wolves are bringing it.
Are you sure this is their first match?
You had me fooled.
This is going to be fun.
Absolutely. You're going to learn a little bit about the next race. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Echo race is made up of 4 stations of elements that each must be completed before moving on in the race. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, but only 1 player at a time can perform reps. Substitutions may happen at any time. Once the Echo race is complete, get ready, because the same race will be repeated 45 seconds later. This race is about managing fatigue with your best players and leveraging roster depth to keep performance at a max pace through the second Echo. Remember, get ready to do it again in the Echo race.
Back, and we are in Lakeland, Florida, the real Florida Magic. Unless you're in Miami, that's the real Florida Magic. Shout out to Central Florida sports here. But we are getting ready for this next race. It's going to be the Echo. A lot of things to look forward to, especially with how these two teams are looking right now. This is a fight. Let's go ahead and see what we can look forward to.
All right, so in the first quadrant, they will be performing 12 D-ball over the yokes of a 150-pound ball. The men's height is going to be 65 inches. The women's height is going to be 45 inches. And then in the next quadrant, they have 10 toes to bar, the double touch, and then the triple touch, that's 1 rep. And then they have 8 toe to ring to back up rise. And then they're going to finish with 10 reps of a barbell complex and 175 pounds. The men will be performing clean plus 2 thrusters, and the women's will be performing a clean plus 2 shoulder to overheads. There's so many movements.
It sure is.
It's like a ton.
And this is going to be a tough one. We saw it last match too. It was a bit of a struggle here. And we're going to, this is one of those, another one like partner forward, that how good you're communicating with your team is really important, and listening to your coach at any given moment. So we're going to see how well the Wolves are able to gel together in high intensity moments, especially for a race like Echo. So we're going to see that in a second.
Yeah, and this race in particular is a very tough one for the New York Wolves to come into, because there's so many high skill complexes in there. This is, I said it in the last match, it's so long, because in the first part, on the rig, they have that toe to bar. Then you have to do a toe to bar, chest to bar. Then you have to do toe to bar, chest to bar, and bar muscle up. That's 1 rep there. So it's going to be very long movement. So if you fail any part of that complex, you have to start that entire complex all over. Same thing with the barbell complex with the clean plus 2 thrusters and the clean plus 2 shoulder overhead. If you mess up or fall in any part of that movement, you have to start over at the beginning.
That's right.
Any little mess up can be detrimental for a team.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough one. The Wolves have obviously been practicing for just about a year together and being put together. And the Brigade, obviously having played so much together throughout the years, as we said, one of the oldest teams. And of course, as long as they're finishing with a time cap, considering how close it's been, it's still anybody's match. We're looking at Garrison Matthews coming out over there for the Tampa Bay Brigade with Jocelyn Williams. And over here, we are looking at Morris and Brandon.
Ashley Morris and Brandon Ferrero.
That's right. There's a Farrar and a Ferrero.
I know. I remember when they both got signed, I'm like, I'm just going to have to say, let's go Brandon. Brandon F.
There we go.
Yeah.
We can hit that one. We can hit that one in this case. Marissa Oxenford is going to be coming out for the Brigade at the same time that Krista is coming out for the Wolves, and they are getting ready to hit it at the exact same time. So can the Wolves keep up with two of the best bodyweight specialists in the league, and Dalton Herrero and Marissa Oxenford? Steve and Krista are about to find out.
And I'm up here looking at Steven Kupek. He actually closed out the mirror and was a part of the Wolves' first race win. And now he's about to be on here taking care of his portion of this rig complex. So to see your bodyweight specialist be able to close out a mirror, that is a strong flex right there.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself, Taylor. And one thing to note, of course, it's called the Echo because it echoes. That means that we're going to see this exact same race twice with only 45 seconds in between. The reason for that being is they have to have a strategy, and if you don't stick to that strategy, there's not really a lot of time if it doesn't work out the first time to change things. For the Wolves, we're looking at Selena and Frank is waiting in the wings by the rings, and Marissa Oxenford, Chris Chaffee, of course. And Frank is starting not too far behind the Brigade. For such a gymnastics-based stuff that they're doing right now, the Wolves are keeping up very well. But of course, Chris Chaffee, he's able to butterfly these very comfortably. Frank is still getting used to these because they don't really do movements like this in other sports.
Yeah, Chris Chaffee was last year's bodyweight specialist of the year. Well deserved. He's been in this league for so long, and he has worked his butt off. So to see him out there, especially as part of the against the Wolves, then it's very scary to see.
Absolutely. Selena Swanger absolutely crushed those, by the way. She's doing really great on those. But the Brigade do have a strong lead against the Wolves here. That's Alex Hollings for the Brigade on the right side of your screen. On the left, that's Daniel Lynn coming out with Petruzzelli. They are a few reps behind, and you can see it on the bottom of the screen where the scores are. It is a little bit of a longer movement. And remember, we're going to see this twice. So is there time for the Wolves to make up their strategy if they finish behind the Brigade here?
Yeah, so I'm up there looking at Alex Hollins. They gave him a no rep, but it looked like they still counted that rep. So, but they still got a big enough lead right now that Brittany, who just finished coming off that very exciting ringer, is going to make light work.
There we go.
Of that complex.
Great showing from the Tampa Bay Brigade, showing that they are a veteran team. Not too far behind. The Wolves are coming out to close and finish well within the time cap, and they will get that 1 point. In case you didn't know, if you win the race, meaning finishing ahead of the other team, you get 2 points. And if you finish within the time cap that is designated by the league, you get 1 point, just in case you're wondering how that system works.
Yeah, and honestly, the New York Wolves, they didn't look bad. They were hanging in there, but when you have Marissa Oxenford and then Chris Chaffee on the other side in that middle portion, you have to be clean.
Absolutely.
And they are such vets over there. They were just much faster, much cleaner and smoother. And when you have Chris, who was able to do the toe to ring back uprise and all those reps, the Wolves had to break it up. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can clean that up in the middle.
Well said, Taylor. Let's echo. All right, we're going to do it twice. The rest ends now, and they're off. Garrison Matthews and Jocelyn Williams over there for the Tampa Bay Brigade, and we are looking at Brandon Farrar and Moline over here for the Wolves.
And they actually look like they getting a better grip of this. They were fumbling around just a hair bit on the first one, but the Wolves are looking a lot stronger and smoother on this. But they're going to need every single second and lead in order to be ahead of the Brigade.
Absolutely. Ashley Morris tagging out. Apologies, Ashley. I keep calling you Moline. And they are coming out. I'm still learning all the Wolves friends, and I better learn them fast because they are coming in hot. Marissa Oxenford, Dalton Herrera on the other side of the grid. And it looks like Krista is getting on the bar. Steve not too far behind, getting ready to take over.
Yeah. And so it looks like the Wolves are keeping with the same game plan over there, along with the Brigade. And I'm saying I'm with the Brigade. Like, if it ain't broke, don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is that the thing?
Excuse me?
Is it if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Yep,
Yeah,
there we go.
There we go. We're working it out. It's been a long day.
It sure has.
But they're looking good here. It looks like it's almost a little bit neck and neck. I think the Brigade still has a little bit of a lead. They have great communication over there. So I still think it's going to come down to the total ring back uprise and see if they can keep one athlete performing it, because we already know Chris is going to take care of all the reps on the Brigade side.
Absolutely. Few reps remaining for the Brigade before they start with Chris Chaffee on the rings. And there he goes. Selena Swanger bringing out that swagger. She has such a great style out here on the grid, and she's been proving to be a great sign for them as well. Doing good so far. Chris Chaffee, hard to beat him on the rings, but let's see if the Wolves can at least make up a little bit of time for Echo 2 here, because those race times do matter even though they are behind. Steph Prohaska is going to be coming out, taking over the barbell for Rebecca Rouse, who is doing the work over there. Rebecca Rouse, of course, very strong, and she is really good at these barbell movements because she is an Olympic weightlifter.
Yep. And Rebecca, each year she keeps on getting faster and faster. She's always been strong, but now that she's understanding the sport even more so, and she's getting more comfortable on the grid, she is learning even more so what grid speed is about. So it's been awesome watching her grow.
Absolutely. Hands in the air for Seth Prohaska, and Selena Swanger is going to be finishing out those last few reps on the rings. And that's going to bring out Sig over here in that fourth quadrant, finishing up those last few reps that are remaining. But the Brigade very far ahead, already a hand in the air. Brittany Latham doing a lot of work today. And Seth Prohaska waiting, and that's another Brigade Echo win.
Oh man, the Brigade is looking in full force, and they're gonna and they needed this. They needed this definitely. They had not a heartbreaking loss against the Lions. It was close, no matter what the score was like. But they need a big win today in order to help their standings.
Absolutely. Really great race so far. Watching how the cards fall for these two teams, and the next race is going to help us understand that a little bit as well, where the Wolves fall within the cards. 1 minute left on the time cap, so a little bit slower time for both teams as far as finishing. And that is a finish for the Wolves. Once again, if you finish within the time cap, you get 1, but if you win, you get 2.
And this is still, again, it's going to be a lot of growing pains with the Wolves. And this is kind of like what we thought that was going to be. But they're still for first team. They're not doing bad
at all.
I mean, right now, experience right now is taking over big time on the Brigade.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of match left in here. And Lexi's doing a great job with making sure that the team stays collected and keeping it 0-0. So.
And they've been doing a great job organizing themselves and everything too, so very fun to watch. I don't want you to go anywhere. You're going to learn about a race, and we'll be right back.
The ladder consists of 2 rows of 4 stations of a strength-based element, 1 row for males and 1 row for females. The weight increases as you move down the grid. Teams send out 1 player at a time, alternating male and female, to perform the designated lift for the match format. Each successful lift has a point value that is added to the team's ladder score. The point value is equal to the quadrant the barbell is sitting in. Players are allowed 1 lift attempt per quadrant and may skip any quadrant they choose, but are never allowed to backtrack once a barbell is passed. The team with the highest total point value at the end of the 4-minute time cap wins. This race is one of the most strategic and coach-reliant of all of the races. As a good game plan and in-the-moment decision-making, to manage time is everything. Remember, lift heavier and score higher in the ladder race.
We're here on the grid with Lexi Wolfert, head coach of the New York Wolves. Lexi, it's been a year in the making. We finally come to the day where your team gets to step foot out on the grid. What does it mean to finally have this day and finally get to see your team take the grid?
I mean, it's just it's a culmination of all the hard work that we've been doing. I mean, we've been putting this team together for nearly a year now. And I mean, slowly and surely getting everyone together, getting everyone up to speed. And we knew that all this was going to be a tough battle. We knew we were given probably one of our toughest battles this season first. So I think it's only going to harden us and make us better for future.
So looking at where you're at, you're in a good spot. You're behind, but got plenty of races left to catch up. What does your team have to focus on to get yourselves in a position to win today?
We have to focus on remembering that the scoreboard turns into 0-0 after every single race. So not focusing on the fact that maybe we lost the last one, but focusing on what's coming forward. So right now, focusing on what the ladder is. If we lose the ladder, we're focusing on what that ringer is. We just keep moving on. We keep trying to execute our next race to the best of our ability.
Well, I appreciate the time. Best of luck, Lexi. Thank you. Cassie, back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. We'll be right back.
Peachy athletic shorts, guys. Just saying. Looking peachy.
And the peaches are great. They're really stretchy. They're soft.
I like the fit. I like the fabric. It makes me just feel more comfortable while I'm working out. I don't have to worry about things coming out.
Love training in these shorts. Love competing in the shorts. They stay put. Got a really nice thick waistband.
They definitely pass the squat test and the booty test. They're really comfortable. Like I could wear them out and I could wear them on the floor.
So still feel covered, but able to do all the movements.
Go get yourself some.
And we're back. This is what you can look forward to in the ladder.
All right, for this ladder, we have the snatch plus hang snatch. The man's weight is going to increase from 175, 195, to 215 to 235. And the women's weight is going to go 105, 125, 140, and 155 pounds. Each athlete will have an opportunity to accumulate as many bars as they can going across the grid, earning the amount of points that they can from each respective grid. Meaning that the athlete, if they hit the bar in quadrant 1, they'll gain 1 point. If they hit the bar in quadrant 4, they'll gain 4 points, for allowing for each athlete to accumulate 10 points for their respective team.
That's right, Taylor. And if you want to take a look at the grid in a wide view really quick so I can walk you through it, in case this is your first time watching, this is how it's going to go. This is worth 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, and 4 points. As you go down, it's going to get heavier and heavier, and you're going to feel more desperate. It's going to be a lot of fun here on the grid and a lot of stuff happening. We're going to see how the Wolves do on this one because we've never seen them do a ladder. So this is essentially the strength people versus the strength people.
And this one is a very unique movement. Just like with almost every single movement in here, it's a long movement.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to see different strategies. You may see athletes skip the first quadrant and start at either quadrant 2 or 3 because your goal as a team is to try to accumulate as many bars as you can or get as many of your athletes across the grid as you can in 5 minutes. So you got to send 10 athletes across the grid in 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Interesting stuff happening over here. And one thing to note, I believe this is the halfway point through the match. Am I correct? So plenty of match to go and only 3-point differential. So it's still anybody's at the end of the day. Here could be a chance for the Wolves to catch up. But the Brigade, of course, being one of the strongest teams, this is a big opponent for the Wolves. In case you didn't know, Dan Ty coming out for the Brigade, our friend from overseas. He is from Europe, I believe England, and he is crushing. Glad to have him back on the grid. And of course, Sydney Paulick. We have some fans of hers in the comments as well. Shout out to her. Let's see if she can clear a ladder, hit every single bar. She is the first to come out, and she is actually going faster than the other team right now because she made it to the 4th bar first. And now you're bringing it to the hang. Oh, easy hang for Sydney. Better than off the floor, dare I say. And that's a good lead for the ladder for the Wolves because that's also a fault in the Brigade side.
I'm up here. I'm excited to see Ray Fletcher. He is one of the strong guys. I'm excited to see what he does all season. But he's a wild card, so of course this is going to be one of the areas where they can definitely use his strength here. They have a lot of strong athletes on the team, and they're going to need every last one of them to get through this ladder.
Wow, great recovery from Fletcher and really got it into his pocket and extended his hips to get that one out. That was a really nice snatch from him. And here comes number 23 for the Wolves, Jordan Bush. and she is looking strong so far, running to that 4th bar. I have to say, for the speed, they're doing really well as far as the Wolves go. They are not looking like rookies. And Alex Hollings, veteran for the Brigade. Oh, and it looks like he's going to false out on that 4th bar.
Yeah, and Jordan Bush on the Wolves, she's another one of their wild card athletes too. So it looked like they saved their wild cards. Oh, actually, I messed up with Raymond. Raymond is not a wild card. He's an alternate, so he is going to be in there. But they brought in their strong people on this one. And Alex Hollings, he had a costly fall and miss in there. We're going to see. Hopefully it won't come down to hunt them in the end. But with this movement, if you miss any part of the lift, you're wasting a lot of time on the grid.
Definitely. And one thing to note, the score that you see at the bottom of the screen is unofficial. And if a team wins by more than 10 points at the end of the race, then that means the other team gets 0 points instead of the 1 point for finishing under the time cap. Now, both of these teams looking really strong. It looks like unofficially the Wolves are ahead here, but there's still about 1.5 minutes left on the time cap. Just to know, Angel Serrano over here on that 4th bar. There's been a lot of faults from the Brigade on that 4th bar, and I think it's, as we've been saying today, for the snatch is one of the harder technical movements to get through, especially at such a fast speed.
I'm up here looking at Brandon Ferrero. He is a muscle head.
Oh, yeah.
He is close grip muscle snatch. I don't know what you call that, but he made it work for him.
Absolutely. It's looking like some great coaching from Lexi over here, telling players which bar they're going to, and they know exactly where to look at any given moment and when to run off, because she is right there with them. Brittany Latham, easy ladder clear for her on the Brigade side, but so far really impressed with the coaching over here for the New York Wolves. Dalton Herrero is back. We saw him last match on the grid, and he did really great, and he's going to get to shine in this match format as well. He does a little bit of everything. Sig is coming out for the New York Wolves. He's going to finish the 2nd quadrant. He's going to go for that 3rd bar. It looks like they still unofficially have the lead, and we're going to announce that ladder score at the end of this race. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up, so I don't want you to go anywhere as soon as this finishes.
And I know you shouted out Lexi, and she is her first year coaching, but she is not new to the grid. She is a former wild athlete here. So seeing her on the sidelines, I love her intensity here, because I think her, she was a little bit quiet on the grid, but she is loud over here on the sidelines. She's doing a great job with leading this team.
Oh, and that's a good extra point that they secured over here for the New York Wolves. Great coaching by Lexi. She is a wild player, as you said, but now she belongs to the New York Wolves and the Wolf Pack. Shout out to them. Unofficially, they have won this ladder, but we're going to see what the official score is in just a minute when Daniel finds that out for us. Great showing from the Brigade as well. A few faults, as you know, it's really hard. This is one of the hardest ladders. It's also one of our favorites because we're personally snatch lovers, but with the added hang in the in-between, it's definitely fun to see.
And so, like you said, not the Wild, excuse me. We were talking about Lexi being on the Wild. The Brigade, they had some costly faults, but as long as they were within that 10-point range, they'll still get 1 point there. But if they aren't, then this could be a big momentum swing for the Wolves.
Absolutely. We're going to find out the results of that in just a few minutes, and we are also going to find out what the fan-voted ringer point is in just a minute. That's some fun stuff that you got to vote for, so don't forget, every match day this season, you're going to be able to vote for a fan-voted ringer, and that will happen right before the sprint relay, and it could mean the difference between winning and losing, and it has for so many so far this season. So you could be a part of that and the decision making.
It could be on you.
That's right. Yeah, and don't you want it to be on you? Where everybody's like, hey, I'm mad that you picked that. And you're like, sorry, I'm in charge here.
I did this.
A lot of fun here. Not sure which one they campaigned for, so it's going to be interesting to hear what exactly it was. In just a second, we're going to go ahead and hear what it was. Let's go ahead and hear what that fan-voted ringer was. Go ahead and
ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The results of the final fan-voted ringer point race are in, and your final vote is for the double kettlebell cluster. The third ringer point race of today will be 16 kettlebell cluster hangs. Men will swing 53 and women 35.
Whoa, great job voting, everybody at home. In just a second, we'll show you what the results of those votes were. You got to vote for it, and that is what they got at the end of the day. So really fun stuff. Thank you for participating. And in just a second, we're going to take it to Daniel. But first, let's go. Oh, there we go. 16 double kettlebell hang clusters. You can see it on the screen, and it didn't win by too much. It looks like some people wanted the sandbag carry. Not sure who campaigned for which one.
That's a lot of votes.
That's a lot of votes, guys. And thank you for participating. And the Wolves came out hot, by the way.
Oh my
and we
goodness.
love to see it.
Those double kettlebell clusters are horrible.
Oh, yeah. That's going to hurt. Wonder who's coming out for that. Daniel will tell us that later. But Daniel's about to tell us the ladder score. Daniel?
All right, we have the results of the ladder race, 66 to 57. The New York Wolves are going to take the ladder race, bringing them that much closer back into this match. Cassie, Taylor, throw it back to you for more grid action.
The Wolves came to make a statement, and statement they are making, and that is a ladder win for the New York Wolves. Strong team, turns out. Yeah.
And they just proved that. Literally.
Definitely. Only a 9-point deficit, so the Brigade will still get 1 point of credit for that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the ringer point options so we could talk a little bit about the one that you're about to see right now. We are bringing out Sydney Pollock, burpee to ring, 8'6" versus Ariana Durham, same height. These are both ladies, so that's why the height is going to be the same for these. All right, Sydney Pollock versus Ariana Durham, rookie versus veteran. Sound off in the comments. Who do you have winning this one? Looks like Sydney's a little bit of a longer athlete, as we were talking about earlier. She is tall, but can she be faster than a veteran? We're about to find out. I can't tell if I've seen Ariana do this one either, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either, but she is very strong, athletic, and explosive athlete. So it'll be fun to see her on here. But like you said, Sydney is definitely a longer athlete. She made light work of the ladder, so it's going to be fun seeing her out here first time with the spotlight doing this ringer point.
That's right. Pollock versus Durham. Let's see.
Stand by.
And they're off. Pollock versus Durham. And we are doing the burpee to ring, not 8'6". This is a really hard one for a lot of people. Sydney not having to jump as high. Ring is swinging over there for Ariana. And Sydney Pollock is going to take home the win for the Wolves. Wow, that came down to a foot race in the very end there. But Pollock pulling ahead at just the last moment. Taylor, I don't know if anybody at home expected the Wolves to come out as hot as they are, but by gosh, I believe the score is just about tied up in a minute.
Look, shout out to Ariana, because she held her own over there. She looked good. She looked strong on that end. But Sydney came out here. She was way over that. I thought she looked like she could do the 9 to 9 inch.
Oh, 100%. She was touching almost the top of the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She was on the inside. In the last one with volleyball spike, I would need to find out if she did volleyball, because that last one looked like a spike.
Hey, you know what? We don't see a whole lot of people do that too often, especially not a rookie. So I love the last one was that one, and she knew that she was going to hit. Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't hit that one, oh, baby, you going home. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. But she's like, I do this.
That's right. That was so fun to watch. Don't go anywhere. You're going to learn about the next race.
Jack and Jill features 3 stations of high-level bodyweight-based elements that increase in difficulty moving down the grid. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, and only 1 player can be working at a time. The team can only move on to the next station when the previous station is complete. This race is the simplest when it comes to rules, but the most reliant on player skill and speed, as the hyper-specialists often make the difference in the race. Remember, let the bodyweight ninjas fly in the Jack and Jill race.
Cook less and live more with rebuilt meals. Fresh, nutritious meals, chef-prepared and perfectly portioned to help you hit your macros. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning. No commitments and no contracts. Rebuilt Meals offers plans to satisfy any lifestyle. We offer gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free options. And the menu changes every week, so you'll never get bored. Let us do the cooking so you can do all the living. Visit rebuiltmeals.com and use promo code RebuiltReady for 50% off your first order.
Welcome back, and shout out to our league sponsors. Rebuilt Meals here in the house with us. Whoop, whoop. I had one of those earlier, and it was delicious.
It's so good. They're so good.
Let's go ahead and hear from Taylor what we can expect in this particular Jack and Jill.
All right, so for this Jack and Jill, we have 15 ring forward rows, followed by 10 deck to pullovers, and then we're going to finish with 5 deck to backflips.
That's right, and this is definitely a hard one, just as far as knowing where to go and doing the amount of reps that you're supposed to do after being on the ground and jumping back up. Oh, it looks like we're having a pause in action. We're going to find out what it was in just a moment, but doesn't sound like it's anything good. And I'm not sure if that was a coach's challenge or a referee challenge. The Wolves are looking at me like, hey, why is this happening? But we'll find out from Daniel in just a moment what exactly is happening. It's a pausing game. Don't go anywhere.
All right, we're back on the grid. We had a little pause in the action. The referees are going to take a look at the flooring. The Brigade are saying that in that ringer point on the burpees, that the flooring has a little bubble. They're going to see if that actually impeded the progress of Ariana Durham for the Brigade. If it did, we'll find out the result. We'll find out what's going to take place. But right now, the refs are reviewing the footage, so we'll get back to you as soon as we have a ruling. Cassie?
Thanks for that, Daniel. I know what bubble they're talking about because I did see it, but I've seen it more in the middle of the grid. I'm not sure if it's affecting exactly where Ariana was, but we'll find out if it would have definitively affected the outcome of the race, just because that would be unfortunate if that's the case.
Yeah, and it's like, it's been a long day of grid, so and we've had plenty of burpee to ring touches, but we also don't know if over the course of the matches, if the part of the flooring has increased. If it has increased and it did show that maybe Ariana stumbled a little bit, or was trying to figure out her footing, if it did in fact affect her, then it was close enough where they could have a rerun.
Absolutely. We'll have to see if there was any kind of stumble from her there. Actually, I didn't see her stumble too much, but I could have missed it. It was a very fast ringer point, to be fair. But they are reviewing it, and the Brigade do get 2 challenges, and if you win your challenge, you do get it back. We're going to find out in just a second. Daniel, let's go ahead and take it to him in just a second, and he's going to give us the scoop, the tea, if you will, depending on how you like to hear that. Do you prefer tea or the scoop? I don't know. You guys tell me. Am I being too Gen Z right now? I don't know. Daniel, take it away.
The ruling is in. The refs have looked at the footage, and it shows that Ariana Durham did slip, but it wasn't on the area of the flooring that they were questioning. So the match is going to stand, or the race is going to stand. The Wolves are going to take that ringer point. Cassie, Taylor, back to you.
That's, unfortunate. The challenge flags are very specific, and if you're calling a very specific area of the grid and that's not where it did not happen, then that's just your luck, unfortunately. That's just the way the cards fall.
Exactly, and like this sport is so incredibly fast, and so sometimes we do slip up out there, and you don't know where it's coming from. And of course, the coach is going to use every last little bit of advantage that they can get to help their team out as much as they can. But again, Tomas has been in this game for a long time, so he saw something honestly, and so he threw it out there just to see what would happen.
Tomas definitely knows what he's doing. It's just unfortunate that it was at the wrong spot, and with all the chaos, it can be hard to, tell where exactly it was as well. But great job on them for doing what they can, but they are still in the lead. The score is 11-10 with the Brigade up by 1. Still anybody's match. There's still plenty of match to go. If you're watching for the first time, welcome. Don't forget to comment down below where you are watching from. Now, getting ready for the next one. It's going to be a fun one. I don't want you to go anywhere. We'll be back.
The Triad is the only race in which there is a male and a female version performed separately. It consists of 5 elements, each with 3 stations that must be completed individually. 3 players can be on the grid at any given time. All players can perform at any station and in any order. But all of the designated reps must be performed at each station. All 3 stations of each element must be complete before the team can move on to the next element. The Triad is all about player conditioning and managing fatigue across the team. The best strategy ensures players have enough left in the tank for the last element and has backup plans for when things inevitably go wrong. Remember, try to catch your breath. And the Jack and Jill features 3 stations of high-level body weight-based elements that increase in difficulty moving down the grid. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, and only 1 player can be working at a time. The team can only move on to the next station when the previous station is complete. This race is the simplest when it comes to rules, but the most reliant on player skill and speed, as the hyper specialists often make the difference in the race. Remember, let the bodyweight ninjas fly in the Jack and Jill race.
Cook less and live more with rebuilt meals. Fresh, nutritious meals, chef-prepared and perfectly portioned to help you hit your macros. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning. No commitments and no contracts. Rebuilt Meals offers plans to satisfy any lifestyle. We offer gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free options, and the menu changes every week, so you'll never get bored. Let us do the cooking so you can do all the living. Visit rebuiltmeals.com and use promo code RebuiltReady for 50% off your first order.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for taking a little long on that referee call, but we are back and getting ready to do the Jack and Jill. Once again, Taylor, please tell them what they can look forward to, just to refresh.
All right, we have 15 ring forward rows, followed by 10 deck to pullovers, and finishing up with 5 deck to back flips.
There we go. And of course, the Brigade challenge, they do lose their challenge flag. Let's go ahead and take a look at those game faces. About 45 seconds till the start of the race. Now, Jack and Jill, they have bodyweight specialists of the year over there on the Brigade. And we've seen them do gymnastics over here on the Wolves, but we haven't seen them do it at Jack and Jill level. And of course, there is a bonus flag. That means instead of 2, if you win, you get 3. And of course, the other team can steal that. We saw that happen earlier. So it's anybody's right now.
Yeah, this is a very smart move for the Brigade. They have some of the best bodyweight specialists in the league, and they also have the experience, so they're used to this. So you throwing this bonus flag against a in a new Wolves team, they have some really good gymnasts on this team. But I think when you're going up against Marissa and Chris, it's going to be a very tough battle.
Absolutely. Only 1 point separates these 2 teams, and there is still a referee discussion on the grill. Not necessarily sure what it is. We can take a look at that in just a minute. I'm getting an overhead view. Sorry that we're stopping the game time, friends. Thank you for commenting where you're from. I see UK, I see New Jersey making noise here, Brazil. A lot of fun stuff happening. Thank you guys for tuning in. A lot of Wolves fans in the comments, Brigade fans as well. Brigade having been around for a while. Don't forget to sound off. Talk to me. What are we doing? Gonna find out from from Daniel in just a second. They're over here in case you're wondering where they are, and they're talking about it. You can zoom in there, see, try to read their lips. I'm trying to do it from here, but Brandon got facial hair, so it's a little hard. Let's go to Daniel. Thank you for that, Daniel. Let's take it a split screen and see what is happening to the action on the grid. Less than 10 seconds. Sorry that we didn't get to hear from Daniel. Not sure why we couldn't hear him, but we'll find out in just a second. Once again, you're watching Jack and Jill. Chris, Chaffee, and Chris are going to start it off. We're doing those forward rolls, Taylor.
Yeah, so you're up here. You're going to see one of the best in the league, and Chris Chaffee up there going to make light work of it. He is just turning around. He is catching it in a lockout position. So he's probably going to do the majority of the reps and then going to hand it over to Marissa. So they are probably one of the original Jack and Jills.
That's right, Chris Chaffee, Mercer Oxenford, some of the best in the league. Wolves hanging close by. Few reps to go. It looks like the Wolves were able to close that deficit just a little bit more before they go into that next movement. Krista is going to be tagging in for Sydney Pollock, but she is not moving into the grid. I don't know why she's not moving into the grid when she was already tagged in, but that is okay because she gets there just in time. You don't want to go, oh, she went to the wrong bar. That was a rookie mistake. That's okay. There's still time. They're starting at just about the same time. Garrison Matthews doing some work over there for the Tampa Bay Brigade, and there is a female waiting in the wings, I'm sure. Brandon Farrar, the other Brandon, is also on the grid getting ready to waterfall these with Sydney Pollock any second now, but it looks like they're going fast. Bonus flag is in play for the Tampa Bay Brigade, and it looks like they are just about 5 reps behind over here for the Wolves. Brigade very much ahead, and that was the last rep before they go into the finish line, and they are going to secure that bonus flag here.
And this is what they do and why they decided to throw the bonus flag. It started from the forward ring rows, and so the Wolves actually caught up with them, but then the last couple of reps from Ray Flesser, and it's actually pretty awesome to see a stronger dude do those as well too. But he slowed down. He got a little tangled up on the last couple of reps, which just allowed the Brigade to pass it over to Garrison, and you're not going to get Garrison on those deck to pullovers. So that was enough to get them in the lead, and that was just about as clean as you can see it.
Absolutely, Taylor, and it was a great showing nonetheless. I mean, the Brigade are some of the best, and you know, they make it look easy, but nothing here is really easy.
Yeah, exactly. Like kids don't try to say, oh, like, oh, I can do that.
Right.
Ooh, this is one of the ones that you may need an adult supervision and a lot of mats.
And if not, and if it's an adult wanting to do it, you need like 3 more adults to watch you. Just by the way. But let's go ahead and take it to our friend Daniel on the grid. Daniel?
Kettlebell clusters. The fans have voted. They have voted for the 16 hang kettlebell clusters for the fan-voted ringer. What we need to know is the athletes that are going to be participating in this fan-voted ringer. For the Brigades, they're going to send 2025 Bodyweight Specialist of the Year, Chris Chaffee, out, while the New York Wolves are going to send rookie sensation Stephen Kupek out. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. One has been on the grid many a times and done this a numerous amount of times. The other is the first time. Cassie, Taylor, back to you.
Chaffee versus Kupek.
I like it. The battle of the meatballs.
Oh, yeah. I like it. Both very talented and both, you know, just about the same size, too, which works in their advantage, realistically.
I'm actually I'm very interested to see how Stephen Kupek, because he actually closed out the mirror for the Wolves to help bring them their first win. So he already has those strong legs there. But and Chris, you really don't see him on the barbell or handle a lot of weight, but he is very strong as well, too. And both of them are very short in stature. So this cluster, even though it's going to be heavy, I think both of the guys are going to be very capable of moving fast. So this is going to be a fun one to watch.
Absolutely. And shout out to Daniel for getting us that information. But we're getting ready for the female triad. You're going to learn what that is, and we're going to wait right here for you.
The triad is the only race in which there is a male and a female version performed separately. It consists of 5 elements, each with 3 stations that must be completed individually. 3 players can be on the grid at any given time. All players can perform at any station and in any order. But all of the designated reps must be performed at each station. All 3 stations of each element must be complete before the team can move on to the next element. The triad is all about player conditioning and managing fatigue across the team. The best strategy ensures players have enough left in the tank for the last element and has backup plans for when things inevitably go wrong. Remember, try to catch your breath in the triad race.
right, for the women's triad, we're going to start off with a 40-foot double kettlebell overhead walking lunge. They must walk past the third quadrant line. Then they're going to go into 6 10-inch deficit handstand push-ups, then 12 double kettlebell ground to overhead at 35 pounds. And then they'll move into 4 med ball muscle-ups with a 6-pound ball. And then they are going to finish with 16 double kettlebell hang clusters.
That's right, Taylor. It's going to be an exciting one. We've seen how the strength specialists fare against each other. We've seen how the body weight specialists fare against each other. Now we're going to see gender for gender, female versus female, and males versus males. Hate to pit strong women against each other, but we're going to see what they're made of here.
And strong women they are.
That's right. Krista, Petruzzelli, and Bush over here for the Wolves, and for the Brigade, we are looking at Hollings, Durham, and Kraisman. Once again, that is those double kettlebell overhead lunges over here, 35 pounds in each hand.
Yeah, and the Brigade, they are really, really good at the women's triad. They're pretty solid there. They have a great batch of utility athletes led by Jess Kraisman and also Kayla Hollings coming in. Kayla was one of my former athletes on the Aces, her and her husband, Alex. And we will always use them in the triad because they're so versatile here. But I'm looking right now, Marissa actually had to call for help on these 10-inch deficit.
Oh, no way.
Push-ups, so you typically see this movement in either the Jack and Jill or the sprint relay. So this, you have to have 3 women or somebody to pick up the slack to do it.
That's right. It looks like the Brigade are slightly ahead here. A little bit of a struggle on that middle element for the female triad, but they were able to get over it and take over. Great communication from the Wolves so far, but the Brigade, of course, the well-oiled machine. Hands in the air for both teams. It's still anybody's, but this is coming down hot. Ariana Durham choosing to send her kettlebells towards the 4th quadrant because they will need them later. Kayla Hollings finishing off before Marissa Oxenford is coming in. We just saw her shoulders get a little bit blown up here, but I'm sure her soft grip on the bar is going to have no problem, especially when she gets to use the momentum here. I mean, look how she just glides to the top here. And of course, they're doing the waterfall. So please explain what the waterfall. I mean, sorry, they're not doing waterfall here. I'm crazy.
It looks like they're doing waterfall.
I know, they were doing it so perfect. I was like, okay. But over here for the female triad, the Wolves were able to actually pick up some speed, and the Wolves are making it at the same time as the Brigade, and that's what I like to see. One person for the Brigade coming in last, but they are going to have to finish because you're as fast as your slowest person in this race, right, Taylor?
Yep, and the Brigade was able to start the clusters with all 3 of their women a lot sooner and faster than the New York. New York's athlete Kara was a little bit slower to get out there. I saw her look back. I don't know if she thought that somebody called her in there, but you cannot finish or cross until the last quadrant is done. And I'm up here looking at fingers for the Brigade, and they are almost done and finished, and they're still waiting for hands to be put up for some of the athletes.
That's right. 5 reps remaining, the most for the Wolves. I believe 3 reps remaining, the most for the Brigade. So they are able to make up time here if they're able to. Waiting for the last person to finish, and it looks like the Brigade will secure the win, but the Wolves are not too far behind. As we said earlier, this is going to be one where they're going to be hugging and laying down at the finish line for the females. So fun to watch, but it looks like it hurts as well. They are all good. They're just catching their breath there. It's a hard one for sure.
Oh my, I think
a lot of work for Kayla there. They're pumping that blood back into her. They're pulling her back down the grid.
I think I said it before. I hate this triad.
Yeah.
This triad hurts the worst. Out of all the triads I've been a part of, this one hurts the worst.
Does watching it as someone who now doesn't have to do it, like, triggering?
Very.
Okay.
Very much so. I'm very triggered with this triad because I'm looking over. I know how Kayla feels. I know how all of them feel. It hurts.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take it to Daniel on the grid with a friend of ours. Daniel.
We're here with Jocelyn Williams of the Tampa Bay Brigade. Jocelyn, I got to give you a shout out. For the first time in my grid league watching, I watched you go last week, start to finish and partner forward. The first time I've ever seen that. What does it mean to have the team put you on their back and just say, we believe in you so much to go out and do something like that?
I was really excited. As you probably know, I'm a squatter, so I fought really hard for that spot. I happen to be good at pistols and overhead squats, so I was really happy that my team trusted me to do something like that and I took some work off of Rebecca that day. So.
It's always nice when you can muster a little bit of the load to help balance out the rest of the workload for everybody else. Now, dogfight that you guys are in with a rookie team. Obviously, you're not looking at that. You're looking at trying to make sure that you guys solidify a victory here. What do you guys have to do to close this thing out?
I think we really have to focus on ourselves. There's a lot of things that happen in a grid match that we just can't control. So it's just a matter of recentering ourselves, regrounding ourselves, and just trusting our training and the work that we've put in.
All right, Chris Chaffee, bodyweight specialist, going in for a fan-voted ringer. What do we expect from him?
Expect a fight. He's really freaking good at the kettlebell clusters.
It's going to be a fight, a lot of races, a lot of match left. Cassie, Taylor, back to you.
Thank you for that, Daniel. What a great interview with a great athlete.
Oh, she is such a star. I love seeing her. She's always such a happy, positive athlete, and it's just been awesome watching her grow in this league.
Definitely couldn't have said it better myself. And thanks for Daniel for running around all crazy for us today. We're going to learn a little bit about grid and get you hyped up, and we'll be right back.
Every second counts in grid. Our team is ready.
We have a goal in mind, and we just got to keep chipping away at it.
Nobody's better than us. Go ahead and get this thing started in 2 minutes. Players,
kick some fucking ass.
let's go.
There's some resentment and fuel in the fire for this team coming forward all.
Grid speed is a different beast.
I think my favorite word to describe it is a little bit chaotic. It's way harder than you think.
It's just such a fun sport.
We face adversity.
Tyler Billington versus Haley Booker.
Oh! And her ringer point winner!
Our match comes to the last race, especially the grid lock. That tells you like how close it was.
One rep remaining, and the Bandits take the mirror!
There was just so much energy the whole time.
It's all about teamwork, good energy, and execution.
Doing the best we can, making sure we have clean reps, good teamwork, good attitude.
I've never been on a team that had so much like connection and vibe with each other.
Breakers ahead by 1 rep, and that is a race win for the Breakers.
Super excited, super stoked.
Woo! Getting fired up. Let's go!
Gets the nerves going.
I don't particularly look at things as challenges. I see everything as an opportunity, so I think there's a lot of opportunity to show what I'm made of and what my team's made of.
Taking it home for his team, Southwest Florida Sharks are your 2025 champions!
Back on the grid, it looks like there's a referee review. The Tampa Bay Brigade on their kettlebells clusters, they are challenging and taking a look at the number of reps that were completed first, and then they got to look at see if one of the athletes threw the kettlebells forward instead of setting them down back where they go. So we'll take a look at it. As soon as we get a ruling, we'll throw it back to you for now, Cassie.
Taylor, you said you saw something. Talk to me.
I saw it on the Brigade side, and they didn't call it. I was like, well, I guess they got away.
Which part?
So on the kettlebell cluster, so the rule is whenever you have dumbbells or kettlebells, if it is over your head, you must control it down to where it's either, I think it's right below your shoulders before you actually release it. And after Kayla Hollings' last rep, she did throw it from the top. Down, or release it from the top down. I'm not gonna say throw, but just release it from the top.
Didn't control it.
So control. Yeah. And so if in a situation like that, it's supposed to be called as a fault, in which that athlete has to come back and redo that same rep. Which, if they do overturn it, and it does look like it could have cause for for a switch and a great rep, then they will probably come back and rerun the last 2 elements.
Absolutely, and I mean, I guess we'll find out in just a bit once they get that ruling, because that checkered flag is on the floor. But let's go ahead and take it to our friend Daniel with a special guest.
We're on the grid with New York Wolves, Sydney Pollock. Sydney, is there anything you can't do? We see you doing a lot of work. You mentioned it to me before we started. You're out of breath. What does it mean to actually get a chance to come out here and now get a chance to participate in grid?
So the moment I stepped on the grid for my first event, I honestly just chilled out. I was like, hey, we put in all the work. We can't change anything now. Now we just go out and execute what we've been doing.
Absolutely. Well, still got a lot of match left. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Cassie.
Thanks for that, Daniel. We're going to find out from Daniel what exactly the ruling is. I hear it over the PA, but once Daniel finds out, that's where we're going to get the information from, because Daniel's just our guy. You know, he's the horse's mouth, so to speak.
I like that.
Yeah, you know, that they made that for him because he is that guy. But once we figure that out, we're going to find out. But shout out to Sydney Pollock and all her fans in the comments. She's in here deep. Science teacher Sid.
Got a lot of fans up there.
A lot of fans, and I love to see it, and I love how active they are. Like I said, you know, Northeast sports fans, that's where it's at. But we're going to go to Daniel in just a second. Let's go ahead. Daniel?
We're back with the referee's ruling. It showed that the athlete for the Brigade did throw the kettlebells forward, and because of that, that rep shouldn't have counted. So now we're going to have to rerun, starting with the med ball bar muscle ups. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now that there's been a little bit of rest. They're not going to do the entire race, but they are going to rerun a portion of it. This could dictate the outcome of this race and maybe dictate the end of this match. Cassie, Taylor, let's throw it back to you.
Whoa. That's a rerun. The Wolves are, I mean,
look,
the Wolves are getting all the breaks today, it looks like.
These are probably the 2 worst elements to rerun.
Oh, that too, yeah.
But the Wolves, they actually look really strong on these.
On those last 2.
Yeah, and especially on the med ball muscle ups. They were just a little bit slower to get to the clusters, but finishing with those clusters, I've done those clusters so many times. It sucks. It hurts. And you got to go somewhere mentally. So now they have to do that again for another 16 reps. So let's see if the Wolves take advantage of that.
That's right. And let me tell you something. There's only 2 elements. That's what a rerun is, just in case you didn't know. And shout out to our sport for fairness and our head referee for seeing that and knowing that it would have changed the outcome of the race and giving both of these teams a fair shot to prove who would have really won that. So they are going to rerun it. That means they're going to do the last 2 elements. Those last 2 elements being med ball bar muscle ups. All right, so they're going to have that ball in between their legs at 6 pounds for you. Then they're going to do those 16 double kettlebell hang clusters in the 4th quadrant. So I believe those kettlebells are going to be waiting close to the 4th quadrant for them, and they are going to be running down the grid to complete those. So we can take a look at those game faces here. It's going to be an intense one. You don't want to miss it. We're going to get some real nice and close-up shots of the athletes as they do these. Oh, we're paused at 11 seconds. Are we coming through? Woo. The men are probably getting cold at this point. The ladies are putting in all the work, Taylor. What are we thinking?
I don't know. I was looking at the Brigade, and I saw Bella up there trying out the bar muscles, and she was struggling a little bit. So I don't know if they are down an athlete that cannot perform it or what. So it's going to be interesting in paying attention to the Brigade to see how their women look. But the Wolves, they looked a lot stronger at this portion here. So.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and see where it's going to come down to. 10 seconds until the action starts here. And they're off. Wolves versus Brigade. This is a rerun of the female triad, female versus female. How do they fare against each other here? And Krista of the Wolves, I mean, she is a great bodyweight specialist. Selena as well, but on the bar, Krista just looks so fast and smooth. And it looks like they are finished, and they're going to be tagging out. Is that going to cost them time? Nope, because the Brigade are tagging out too. Petruzzelli and Bush are joining the fold. Sydney Pollack already putting in that work. This is the last element. Whoever wins this and finishes as quickly as possible is going to take this race, and this can really affect who wins the match. I can't believe I'm saying it. This is so close. It's going to come down to a little foot race here. Can't even tell what the score is so far. A little bit of a struggle here as they're getting closer to the grid. No hands in the air so far. We're going to be seeing in just a second. High intensity situation here, friends. Hands are in the air for the Wolves. Hands are in the air for the Brigade. Who will finish first? Bush finished. Pollack almost finished. 1 rep remaining for the Brigade. And the Brigade are going to take it just ahead of the New York Wolves.
Oh my gosh, that was so close. And Sydney looked like she was actually the first to get to the kettlebells, but she was actually the last to finish towards the end. And at one point, it looked like that they were about finished. But the Brigade, you're only as good as your last athlete. And the Brigade, they all finished around the same time. And wow, that was really, really close.
It was fun to watch. Sydney, I mean, she's been working really hard this whole match, but it looks like she had a little bit of a forward walk that might have cost her a fault. So when you're traveling like that, you have to show control of the kettlebells over your head. So it's harder to do that when you're walking forward. It might get you closer to the finish line, but you really have to finish and put your mind to the work that you're doing on the grid.
Exactly. You're absolutely right, because you see a lot of athletes that will try to, every time they extend, they'll either try to hop forward or come forward there. It's all about timing, but you got to be confident with the steps, because it's a risk to reward. If you don't finish the rep, then you get a costly fall, which will definitely come back. And it looked like it did come back to hurt them at the end.
Absolutely. In a minute, we're going to get an interview from my friend Daniel on the grid. But in the meantime, let's see what we can look forward to in the male triad.
All right, so the men are going to be going a 40-foot double kettlebell overhead walking lunge. They must lunge past the third quadrant, and their weight is going to be 53 pounds, and they're moving to 6 10-inch deficit handstand push-ups, followed by 12 double kettlebell ground to overhead, and then they will have 6 med ball bar muscle-ups with a 6-pound ball, followed by 16 double kettlebell hang clusters.
That's right, Taylor. In just a second, we're going to hear from our friend Daniel on the grid, but the females were very close to each other. Now we're going to see how the men fare against each other. So it's going to be the same thing, just a little bit more reps, just a little bit heavier to account for biological differences between males and females. But when the Brigade finish this huddle here, we're going to get a little interview. Fun stuff happening. Still a close race, 4-point differential so far. It looks like we have another referee calling on the grid. We're going to find out what that is in a second. I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute while we figure that out.
Got big developments here down on the grid. It looks like in that rerun, the Brigade put in an inactive player. Anytime we put in an inactive player, that results in a 0 for that score. So they're going to get a 0 for that race, and the victory for that race is going to go to the Wolves, which really changes the dynamic of this race. It's going to come down to this triad, this ringer, and this sprint relay to see who takes the victory today. Cassie, Taylor, back to you.
The woman was too stunned to speak. Whoa, they totally took that away from the Brigade. That's a tough one. that's a coaching thing more than anything, because half of these players don't even know when they're active sometimes.
They don't. They just want to go out there and compete.
Yeah, like, let me in, coach. But that is definitely a tough one, especially from a veteran team. The Wolves are getting ready for this male triad. We're going to hear again from Daniel in just a second once we get an interview. But we were about to get an interview with Jess, but they kind of got a little fired up there, especially now that they lost that. Jess Kraseman is not happy. I love to see the reactions on the grid, but that's I'm sure a relief from the Wolves. And we are going to see what the score is in just a little minute. 1 minute until the male triad starts over here. Male triad shaping up to be even more, Important, thank you, that's the word, coming into this one. So it's just about tied, if not differentiated by 1 or 2 points now for these two teams. So let's find out in just a second what it was.
Ooh, these Wolves are coming out.
Definitely are. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Game faces on the grid here. Men's are going to start on those kettlebells. Let's take a look.
Referees ready, players ready. Stand by. Race!
And they're off. Men versus men. Serrano, Matthews, and Ty for the Brigade from right to left. And from right to left for the Wolves, we're looking at Daniel, Mike, and Brandon.
Yeah, and so right now, the Brigade, they got to get that back. That was, unfortunately, a costly 0. Well, we'll see if that was, how costly that was right there. But either way, they allowed an opening for the Wolves. So we'll see how the Brigade respond, and we'll see if the Wolves take advantage of this opportunity there and can come out on a win.
That's right, and they are coming out hot, and it looks like the Brigade are just slightly ahead of the Wolves here. The Wolves starting a little bit late on the kettlebells, but as they're going through, it looks like they're going pretty fast so far. The Brigade, of course, moving like a well-oiled machine, being a veteran team.
Yeah, and Wolves, they look pretty strong over here, but of course right now experience look like they're winning out right now. And I think it's going to come down to of course these last two elements, the men ball muscle ups and these clusters. But right now the Brigade, they are well ahead, and all the guys that they have right now on the rig, they're going to make light work of this.
That's right, and the score for those of you watching at home is 12-14. New York only trailing by 2 points. It's still anybody's, plenty of match to go. 2 more races after this male triad. Does look like the Brigade have a lead here against the Wolves, but the Wolves not too far behind. 2 reps remaining for the Wolves, and it looks like Brigade are already starting on those kettlebell overheads for those.
Yeah.
Brandon Ferraro coming out. Daniel coming out for the Wolves, but the Wolves last player starting a bit behind the Brigade last player, so they're going to have to move double time here and kind of get really, really tired and give everything they got in order to keep staying in this. Dan Ty, Angel Serrano, Chris Chaffee, that's not who I want to see on the other side of the grid of me. A bunch of veteran players, very good ones at that.
And I would like to note that you're seeing Stephen Kupek of the Wolves and Chris Chaffee of the Brigade. They are in the front right now leading their respective teams. And we're about to see them in a couple of minutes right after this doing 16 more of these. So I guess this is the warm-up before the ringer.
That's right, Taylor, and it looks like the Brigade are going to finish ahead, and unfortunately one of the Wolves went into the finish line before time. They still have plenty of time within the time cap, but the Brigade are going to take it male triad fair and square here. Look very clean and very ahead there. I was waiting for the Wolves to make a rookie mistake there, and running ahead of your teammates before they're finished is definitely one of those, and it's you got to make one.
Yeah, and they've been pretty clean all day. Really haven't made a lot of mistakes right there. And Dale Lynn, he was just so excited to be done. He just ran. He's like, I just want to hurry up and
he laid down in that finish line at that too.
Laid down to know you have to crawl back up. Oh, and finish 2 more reps because your teammate needs it.
Amazing showing from both of these teams. The Brigade coming out strong. These kind of you know, the experience is really shining in the ones that rely a lot on communication.
Yep.
Is what I'm seeing a lot of the Brigade doing. So very interesting to see how these cards are falling, especially in races like that. Looking forward, we have a little bit of time. You're going to have some fun waiting for our ringer point race. We'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome. We're getting ready for that fan-voted ringer. Once again, thank you for joining us and voting for it. We had over 200 votes. And that's just in a short amount of time. So thank you for watching and thank you for voting. And you are part of these teams suffering.
Oh my gosh. Actually, it looked like they had like well over 300, 400 total votes. 200 votes was just for this one.
That's right.
Here.
I think you're right. Yeah.
They had like 215 votes just to see people suffer even more so.
I love it.
And the 2 people that are going head to head just finished doing 16 kettlebell clusters.
Hey, you're so right about that.
Ooh, this is a
They were both in that race, so it's going to be fun to watch. Let's go ahead and see what the options are, and I can show you what specifically we are looking forward to.
So the boys are going to be doing the double kettlebell hang cluster. Since it's going to be Steven and Chris going against each other, both of them are going to have 53 pounds in their hand.
That's right, Taylor. But waiting for this ringer point, it's going to be a tough one. You know, veteran like Chris Chaffee versus a newbie. I mean, a great newbie, but a newbie nonetheless, especially in a ringer point race where it's just you versus them.
Well, we saw it earlier with Sydney and Ariana. So Sydney was a rookie and came out on top against a vet like Ariana. So we don't know. Are they going to go 2 for 2 with their rookies? Both of these boys are very short in stature, but very, very strong. So it's gonna be fun to watch them, and both of them are equally fatigued because again, they just finished doing this.
Definitely. 1 minute on the clock until the action, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a fun one to watch. I mean, that's all I can say. This is a hard one, a tough one. They're going to be going down to the middle of the grid, but those game faces are on. I like the rest of the team waiting for them in the finish line, especially the Wolves. They all left Steve over here to contemplate at the beginning. And it looks like they did change the athlete for the Brigade.
They did change it. So they changed it to Bella. At first, originally, they said Chris Chaffee was going to do this, but they just changed it to Bella, which is another very strong athlete, and the weight will go down to 35 pounds for her. She is just as short. But she is no stranger either.
That's right. Game faces out here on the grid. Cameramen are well out of the way because they are going to be running into frame. You're about to see it.
Stand by. Race.
And they're off. Tampa Bay Brigade versus the New York Wolves. We're looking at Isabella Carvalho versus Steven Kupek.
Ooh. They are like Bella is short. She has very comfortable. She also has fresh legs as well too, so she's able to pull herself under. But Steven has called up a little bit.
Ooh,
wow, this is very
going
close.
really fast. I'm not sure who is ahead here. No hands in the air so far, but I know this is hurting. 35 pounds for Isa Carvalho, and that is 53 for Steven Kupek. And by the way, that is in each hand. It looks like Steve Kupek has a little bit of a lead here, and this is giving him more fire to get all the way towards the finish line. He can't slow down now. One more rep remaining for Steven, and he is going to sprint to the finish line, and that is a New York Wolves win.
Whoa!
Wow.
That was huge.
Carvalho was not far behind, but it looked like an outright win to me. The Brigade are not happy on the other side of the screen, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, Steven Kupek, if you don't know the name, now you do.
I'm gonna have to add him to my Rookie of the Year watch. This season is crazy right now. Bella did a great job at the beginning of pulling herself under and punching over. Oh shoot, we're seeing another challenge for her. But Steven Kupek, he was very controlled and just stayed in his own rhythm, and he he looked so good and did not change his speed and actually dropped it right below the waist and took off.
That's right. We're going to send it to Daniel in just a second, but it looks like there are some talks on the grid with what is happening. It looks like there might have been a challenge. We'll find out from our friend in a second. Guys, challenges all over the place today. The Brigade are not happy, and they lost their challenge flag earlier. You get 2 all day. If you win, you get it back, but they did lose one of them earlier, so now they're using their very last challenge flag. I mean, getting close to the end, you might as well, especially if you're on the way there. But Daniel's getting the information from us. Guys, I mean, this hasn't happened all day. We've been finishing early. A lot of challenge calls today, but that's just, you know, what can I say?
This sport is crazy.
A lot of fun. We're gonna take it to Daniel in just a second when he figures that out. Let's go ahead and take it to him now. Looks like he's about ready. Daniel, what do you have?
Looks like there's a Tampa Bay Brigade challenge. They're going to challenge the fact that Stephen Kupek of the Wolves had his wraps wrapped around the kettlebell handle, which is illegal. He can't do that. So they're going to take a look at it, see if they can determine whether the wraps were indefinitely wrapped around the kettlebell handle. If they are, then we'll have a rerun. If not, then we'll be back with you with the ruling. Cassie?
Oh, interesting. Who had it? Did he say?
They're trying to challenge that Stephen Kupek would had grips and use the grips to hold it. I know he had them on. I don't know if he was using them to hold on for the grip. So I'm not quite sure, but they are looking and checking right now to see if that is the case.
A rule, yeah, and even a rule as well, because for the kettlebell movements, it's not always clear language, so they have to double check that. Thank you for getting that for us, Daniel. I'm losing my voice a little bit here. Please excuse me. A lot of challenges, a lot of excitement. I've been yelling all day. I mean, this day has been changing the playoff picture completely.
Oh my goodness. Dallas is gonna be insane. Shoot, what am I talking about? New York's about to be insane. Dallas is about to be insane. And shoot, if this is, I'm up there looking to my right, it is packed with New Yorkers. Once we get to New York, I want to see what this crowd is gonna look like, because it's already a good size now.
Can I tell you something, Taylor? There was a fan on the New York side that he was holding his beer and he was saying,
I heard him.
You heard him. He was like, tell them not to challenge anymore over on the Brigade side. And I was like, you know what? It's not a New York team until you have a guy on the sidelines yelling at the coaches on behalf of the team.
100%.
Am I right?
You're absolutely right. And I heard him yell out, I Googled the rules. He's like, I Googled the rules. You can only have one challenge. But I was like, first of all, Google lied to you. Like, second of all, I love that you're up there trying to check your facts. You better go. That Big Ultra is kicking it hard.
Oh, man. You know, I love a loud and wrong sports fan, because at the end of the day, I'm like that too.
Look, yelling at the screen. Look, we all done it. We all done it. Like, no, I didn't substitute. That is wrong.
Definitely.
I love the passion. I love the passion.
No passion like Northeast passion. We're going to find out from Daniel in a second. Let's go ahead and give you an aerial view of the grid just so you can get a picture of what it's looking like right now. And we'll be right back to give you some more info.
Challenge ruling is back. The referees take a look at it, had to dig into the rule book and find out what the actual penalty would be. It shows that Stephen Kupek did have illegal wraps on, but what that does do is result in an ejection for him, but the race result is going to stand. And with that, the Wolves are going to take the victory for that race. Cassie, Taylor, throw it back to you.
Ouch. It looks like that's going to hurt for the Wolves, because Kupek has been a huge part of their team and doing a lot of work. Not sure if they have the strategy to overtake it, but it looks like they're going to keep the points for it, which is interesting to say the least. We're going to get the official score for you in just a minute. So he is ejected from the rest of the match. Taylor, when was the last time you saw this happen?
This has never happened.
Whoa.
I've been in this sport for,
and it'll never happen to
10
Kupek
years
again, I'm sure.
Playing, and like every single year, I've never seen this happen.
Once again, looking at the rule book, Steven Kupek is ejected for the rest of the match.
Wow.
And that is unfortunate for the Wolves, but great for the Brigade because it kind of throws off their strategy a little bit, but unfortunate in the sense that, I mean, I don't think that Wolves are ever going to make that mistake again. You know what I mean?
That was tough. That's very, very tough. Like, bright side, they keep the points. They got the much needed points. That stays. But the ejection of Steven, he's been very valuable to this Wolves team the entire match. Don't know if what he was supposed to do in the sprint relay, if he was supposed to be in there, but they're gonna have to fill that hole and gap right there. And I gotta go back and listen to the rules. He may be ejected for another match.
Whoa.
And that's like, this is new. So
that's going to be huge.
So, but I know he's ejected for the rest of this match. Luckily, it's only one. So we'll see if it's also going to result in another full match.
Whoa, that's a huge ejection for the Wolves. It's almost like, I mean, I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose. You know, nobody does that maliciously, but was it worth it to keep the points and eject one of your most instrumental players? And that's what it comes down to, and it's really a tough one. But we're going to go ahead and take it to my friend Daniel on the grid. Daniel?
All right, we got New York Wolves Mike Rosa over here. Mike, last year you were part of the Brigade. This year, all Wolfpack. Just had an ejection, but it really worked out in y'all's favor according to the rule book. Now, you guys are right here in it. You got a chance to pick up a victory. What do you tell your team? What do you got to do in the sprint relay to win?
Wow. I mean, first of all, that ejection was you know, it's a mistake. Mistakes happen, and they're bummed. Unfortunately, it wasn't on purpose. You know, it's nothing that we did on purpose, nothing that we meant to do. It wasn't malicious. Accidents happen. You know, like Coach Moss taught me, the score is 0-0, right? So that's what I tell my Wolves. The score is 0-0.
So when you look at that, Steven being out for this sprint relay, does that affect the strategy? I saw you guys huddled over there talking about what's going on. Is that going to be a hindrance to y'all not having him, or are you guys going to be able to move forward?
We just switched everybody's spots around. So, you know, it threw a wrench into it, but we trained for whatever could happen will happen. We've had a lot of things that have been thrown our way so far before our first match, and we've overcome them, and we're going to overcome this. And, you know, our coach is locked in. She was quick with it, and all the players are locked in and ready to accept their new jobs.
Well, it's going to be interesting how this plays out. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Mike. Cassie, Taylor, let's throw it back to you.
Thanks for that, Daniel. And I couldn't think of a better person to interview at the end of a match, especially one against the Brigade. And I love how he shouted out Tomas Placenda, the coach and owner, one of the coaches of the Brigade.
Yeah, and he has that C on his jersey for a reason. He's the captain. So he is the only guy on the Wolves squad that has done grid before. So his leadership right there, you can just hear it in his voice. So he said it, that his coach was already prepared and already switched everybody's spot. So this is crazy because Lexi, I just saw Lexi just throw the bonus flag, so we're going to be seeing that. So it's going to be a winner take all.
Oh, interesting here. Okay, so this is why this is interesting, friends. So the Wolves are behind by 2 points. The sprint relay, in case you didn't know, is worth 3 points. And if you finish within the time cap, it's 1 point.
Yeah.
So I believe she did that just in case they win the sprint relay. Then it goes into gridlock, which in our vocabulary, it means a tie. If it goes into a tie, they do basically a sprint relay again, but only the last 4 elements. So just in case you are not sure what's happening, this can possibly go into a tie. Just so you know. But I'm going to go ahead and take it to Daniel on the grid in just a second. Daniel's getting ready to be shown. But a lot of it, like, oof. I can't even tell you how fired up I am about this. But let's go ahead and take it to Daniel. Daniel?
All right, as we noticed, we talked to Mike Rosa. Steven Kupek's out. That's going to dictate a lot of how their strategy is going to evolve throughout this sprint relay. As we know, this sprint relay is a doozy. It has something for everyone. Body weight specialists, strength specialists, utility players. You have to have a lot of balance in order to take care of this sprint relay. We're going to see what the Wolves have. We're going to see what the Brigade have. It all comes down to this. Cassie, Taylor, let's get back to it.
Daniel, you're firing me up over here. Oh, man, and Taylor just updated me on something. Taylor, go ahead and tell the people what we discovered, because I'm not good at math.
No. It will be a winner take all. Right now, it's 15 for the Wolves. It's 17 for the Brigade. So, and Lexi just threw the bonus flag. So, if the Wolves win this, they will have 19 points, and the Brigade, if they finish, will have 18 points.
I like Lexi's strategy here. I'm a little scared because Mike Rosa did say they just had to change everybody's places here, but let's see how well the Wolves are able to come back from this. Let's watch it.
Stand by. Ready.
And they are off. Sprint relay, we're starting off with 6 heavy D-balls over the yoke. That's 150 pounds over a 45-inch bar. They are, of course, using that yoke, and they are going pretty fast. Steven Kupek, we said it, he's been ejected, and he was an instrumental part of going through this. And it looks like Brandon Ferrero is going to be the first one outside, and that's going to bring out Mike Rosa for the rope climb. Doing great so far. That switch cost the Brigade a little bit of time there at the end. One more jump needed, but Mike Rosa, he swung it a little bit too much, giving Dalton Herrero the little lead that he needed here for that. Dalton Herrero is going to tag the start line and run into the finish. Mike Rosa trying to go as quickly as he can. That rope swinging is not helping. Chris Chaffee is going to come out on the rings. Oh boy, Chris Chaffee, you do not want to forget that that is on the other side of the grid from you. That is a monster in the making. Selena Swanger, she's been shown to be pretty good on the rings, but is she as good as Chris Chaffee, and can she finish as quickly? Looks like she is doing well for herself. Chris Chaffee's going to run into the finish line. That's going to bring out Garrison Matthews. He's holding that heavy D-ball. It's going to be past the middle quadrant line, back to start through the finish, and that is a heavy one. I'm not sure if it's 150 or 200 pounds. Get that information for you, but it is coming through the grid. That is 150 pounds, and that is bringing out Petruzzelli for the Wolves. Before the Brigade, they are into those pistols right now. Marissa Oxenford, once again, this is winner takes all, friends, and it looks like the Brigade are pulling ahead with the veterans that they have. Daniel's going to be coming out and hitting those burpees through for the pistols, and he is going pretty fast, but Marissa Oxenford is already finished with them. Fun stuff happening, coming soon, and this is an intense one, friends. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be losing my voice by the end of this. Isabella Carvalho coming out for the kettlebell. She is going extremely fast. Daniel getting off of the grid to let the next person come in. Remember, these people are going so fast, but they just found out where their places were and what they had to switch up just a second ago. McCall is going to be coming out for the Wolves to do the kettlebells. 2 reps remaining for the Brigade. Meanwhile, that means that she has quite a bit to make up here. Maybe about 6 remaining for the Wolves, as Isabella Carvalho is already running to the start line and running into the finish line. That's going to give enough time for Dan Tai to be coming out, and Dan Tai is going to be completing those 6 snatches at 200 pounds. They are already on the heavy bar. McCall able to make up a little bit of time, but whoever's on that barbell is going to have to go really fast here, Taylor, because the winner takes all. The Wolves are sending out Flesser, Raymond for that barbell, but Dantai is already finished with the snatches, and who are they going to be sending out for that last heavy bar? 3 reps remaining for the New York Wolves on the last element. Meanwhile, the Brigade are down to the last element. They're bringing out Garrison Matthews to do those 2 heavy clean and jerks at 200 pounds. Light work for Garrison Matthews. That's a Garrison Matthews run to the start line, tag, and a finish line run. And it looks like it's going to be a Tampa Bay Brigade match win. Wow, it came down to the wire. tired, Sailor. Sorry, I didn't even let you talk the whole time, huh?
That's fine. I was fine with you just talking because I'm up there looking at it, still holding my breath. So I'm glad that you did that because I don't think my heart and my voice could take anymore.
Oh my goodness, Sydney Pollack is gonna finish it off. We love to see a woman on the last barbell. Such a strong showing, and it really came down to the very end. I got goosebumps. Hope you're having them at home as well. The Brigade were able to pull it out.
Yes, and it came that actually the Wolves were ahead at the very beginning, and Captain Mike Rosa, he got a costly no rep because you have to show control at the bottom, and he slid right down, which allowed an opportunity for Dalton on the Brigade to. Dalton does not mess up rope climbs. He is one of the best, if not the best, in rope climbs, and so he capitalized on that, and the Brigade never let go of their lead.
Absolutely. Such a great match. Dare I say the best of the day, the closest of the day. It came down to the sprint relay. And, you know, the Wolves came out hot, but going against a veteran team like the Brigade, I believe it was a lot closer than anybody thought it might have been. It was such fun that we had.
Oh my goodness, this was a great look at of course, the New York Wolves and the Brigade. They needed this statement win right here to travel into the momentum into the rest of the season. So I am excited to get to the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. And we got a little bit of time. We got about a month and a half.
We sure do.
Yeah,
it's going to be in August.
It's going to be August, and that is going to be electric. We got 2 days of grid.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great one, and don't miss the action. Great match between these two teams. They did absolutely amazing. Brigade, of course, taking the win home as veterans, but we don't want to miss you in New York, so you have to come and see us again. In the meantime, I'm Cassie Martinez.
And I'm Taylor Stallings.
Thank you for joining us.